Well, hello, welcome back, my Body Language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Body Language guy, and we are back with another live. Today, we're going to talk about a few topics. First, a lawsuit going on, another lawsuit. I know, with hazmat doing the rounds in the legal system. We have this Michelle Obama snub of the Duchess and a couple more topics, especially first comment about Valentine Lowe's book Courtiers, which, well, it has solid information about explanations behind the behavior of William and Harry with each other. Everything in today's show. So, thanks for being here. This is great to have every single one of you here. Remember to hit the like button. Remember to hit the like button. And let's get down to it right away. Let's get down to it and get started with today's meme. Today's opening joke is thanks to Kylie Gillis on Instagram. Australia host of a program that mocked. They say that imitation is a form of flattery, and I agree, but I don't know why. I have the feeling that in this case, imitation is instead a form of mockery. I don't know what you think, especially when we read the caption. The caption says, the Duke and Duchess of BS. That is my caption. Larry's caption is, at least two men in this photo have played naked billiards in Vegas. And at least two women in this photo would do anything to get the keys to a castle. I think Larry's caption wins. Well, you know, this is it. We have this this caption. Let me fix something in here. I hope my software doesn't breaks down screen sharing. I'm gonna delete my mouse cursor. Okay, much better, much cleaner now. And today, before we begin, I want to remind you that you can join my channel, the Body Language Guy, on YouTube. Here on YouTube, I'm streaming exclusively on YouTube at the moment. And by joining, you not only support my channel, but also will get to use this brand new emoji, custom emoji for your reactions. You are on the chat, and you can use those emojis if you are a member of my channel, an official member of my channel. All you have to do is include this code words between columns, and it should work. It should appear on the chat. So of all members already in the chat, let's give it a try. Bellatrix, you remember from Azkaban Prison. I think in Azkaban they allow you to use emojis, use custom. Hey, Anne-Marie with the first custom emoji. That is great. Yeah, that is great. They're working. I'm sorry that I haven't taken care of my members lately, but I will be doing that. I will be generating, since I'm focusing on YouTube at the moment, that I will be generating exclusive content for you. And let's see what else can we yeah, they are working. I promise to make more tomorrow with more reaction faces for you. But now let's get into what brings us today. The Light We Carry tour. Michelle Obama wrote a book. I'm not a fan of Michelle Obama, but I found this interesting. That she wrote a book and she's on a tour. That is important. It's even if you are Michelle Obama, even if you were a first lady of the United States, it's important to make to do a tour, a book tour, so people is aware of what are they going to find in the book, and of course, sell your book. That is a common marketing practice, totally understandable. And Ellen DeGeneres, Tyler Perry, and David Letterman among star-studded lineup of guests on Michelle Obama's upcoming book tour, exclusive in Variety. And what is interesting is she's hitting the road this fall to publicize her upcoming book. Okay, that is we have the dates, we have everything. All right. And what do you find interesting about what do you find odd about the lineup of the star-studded lineup? I'm sure you already noticed that, and if you're following me on Twitter, you already saw my comment on Twitter. There's someone that is not here, and there's so many people related to this special someone that I don't know how to put this. But that special someone should be here. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna be gonna go through every single one of these stars, and let's find out if they could have been vouched for, of course, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, because, well, that would have made sense. You already have seen most of her friends in here. But let's start with Ellen. You remember that last year? Well, she invited Meghan, or Meghan, through her PR, Sunshine Sachs back then, she managed to land an interview on Ellen, and Ellen just turned her to shreds. I made a couple videos about that interview, which did not, in my opinion, did not go well for Meghan at all. And I thought that, well, since Ellen just made a fool of herself, made a fool of Meghan, and in that show, maybe she could at least say, well, I owe Meghan a chance. Maybe I could talk to Michelle and, hey, why don't you invite Meghan to this tour? I'm sure that she could fit. Like, she's related to almost every single one of us, the ones that are invited. She was related to you at some point. You vouched for her at some point. You vouched for all what Meghan stood for as an American marrying the royal family, as a biracial woman marrying the British monarchy. So marrying into the British monarchy. So why not? Ellen could have said something, even out of compassion from after doing this. But, well, we move on. The next star that Michelle Obama picked for her book tour was Gayle King. And Gayle King, you know that, well, she is also related to you know who, that I'm going to mention, of course. But Gayle King is most famous, related to Meghan, for being the one to have the exclusive of that reveal of the, should I call, shawl, as Tom Bauer said, the shawl reveal. Yeah, Gayle King, longtime friend of Meghan, apparently, allegedly. She had the exclusive, and Meghan assured her that exclusive, so why not? Gayle must have said, Michelle, you should invite Meghan. She will be a nice addition to your book tour. She won't let you speak about yourself, but you need to invite her. Why not? She's biracial. She's American. She's a woman. She's an empowerment, and all by herself. All by herself. And yes, her handbag could be there too. Why not? Yeah, Gayle King could have said that. Who's next? Hoda Kotb. Hoda Kotb, who made this interview. You remember this interview just a few days before the Jubilee celebrations, where, you know, Harry began throwing those spears the royal family. She facilitated this. They are, of course, in close connection with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. She's in that close connection, so why not? Because Hoda Kotb is gonna be one of these hosts of Michelle Obama on her book tour. So Hoda could have said something about Meghan and Harry, or about Meghan. Why Meghan isn't here? Why? I wonder. All right, I'm gonna make a pause right now. I want to know if there is there many trolls. I've been having some complaints about people in the comments. I will try. I'll do my best to try to moderate those comments. All right, I'm going to see here. Let me see. Okay. Is banned. Okay, it's banned. Okay. Banned. Let's do something. Let's do something. Let's do something. All right. It's already banned. Already banned him manually. I'm sorry about this, but that's a let's do something. If you see a troll in the comments, if you see a troll in the live chat, just include the username with the and include the word troll, and I will go directly to it. And I will ban them. I will ban them as soon as possible. I'm sorry for the interruption, but I think I'm trying to keep an eye on your comments. I'm very mindful of your comments to just to make sure that everything is all right, so we can move on. Thank you, my moderators. I think that okay. Ajita says that everything seems okay. Let's move on, shall we? And the next one in this lineup is none other than Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry, you know Tyler Perry's track record with Meghan. But in case you're not aware, we're gonna just mention two pieces that are decisive to include what is going on in here with Tyler Perry and Meghan. I've had a front row seat in your life for the past few years. I've watched you endure things that would have broken a lot of people. I'm so incredibly proud to see how happy you, your husband, and your kids are now. It fills me with joy to say happy birthday, Princess Meghan. Princess Meghan, by the way, you remember that this was the day after Meghan's birthday, not on Meghan's birthday. This was after we roasted Meghan. We roasted Meghan for not having any famous friends telling her happy birthday. That was sad. Now, I wish Meghan happy birthday. And I'm certainly not a friend of Meghan Markle, but I wish her happy birthday on Twitter. And because, well, I didn't know at the time, I was not aware that so many people that supposedly support Meghan and love Meghan didn't say anything on her birthday. And that is sad. That is sad. So many people that support her, and Tyler did that the next day. Princess Meghan. Well, whatever. So, and this is the other piece that was more recent from late September. Tyler Perry says Meghan Markle and Prince Harry found each other against all odds. Or thanks to, Meghan's scheming. Meghan's scheming. This is well, whatever. This is I don't know if this is a compliment, but I guess it is. It was a very difficult time for them. What I know about the two, I tried to read this without all the redundancies, that I wish the world knew is how much they love each other. These two people love each other. Out of all these odds against them, they found each other. The love they have is really, really moving. I just wanted to do anything I could to support them. How much sugar, how much support, how much everything. And how interesting that even one of her most passionate defenders, avengers, as you can call Tyler Perry, couldn't even vouch for her to be included in this. All right, Tyler Perry is an actor and producer and director, an American actor, producer, and director. He became, I guess, famous for this character, Medea, right? It was some comedy, but he has also, I guess, produced and directed, right? So he's in this Hollywood. He's connected to this to all this Hollywood, or has all these Hollywood connections. So he has some weight in the Hollywood scene. Has been I can say that Tyler Perry has been successful. I would say that about him. So he could have vouched for Meghan. That is important to say. I think for how much he has talked about her, it would have made sense. Now, people that certainly maybe need some presentation. I didn't know them when I was making this. It's Heather McGhee. Heather is author, the Sum of Us book creator, the Sum of Us pod, board chair, Color for Change. Okay, she is an American author, and she has specialized on American economy. And well, she's also in the Michelle Obama's roster to be hosts of her book tour. So I wanted to know is what kind of position has Heather McGhee on Meghan, and I didn't have to go much deeper. It was not hard to find tweets like this. Decided today would be a great day to listen to Meghan Markle interview Serena Williams about the bind society places on women's ambition for her new podcast. Archetypes on Spotify didn't disappoint, and she includes the link to the podcast. So there's at least there's no that's like free publicity. That's nice. There's positive publicity. So she's on. She is not against Meghan, of course, and this other tweet is gonna be useful to understand the frame of it all. Heather McGhee, bring in the Commonwealth, Meghan. This was right the day after the Oprah interview on March 8, 2021. Oprah, Meghan, Harry. Oh, so she was like pushing for it. Yeah, you go, girl. You go, Meghan. So this was this intention. I'm not gonna judge her for just 2 tweets because 2 tweets can anybody can tweet twice. Like I have tweeted like 1,000 times more than Heather, but we know that she was at least not against Meghan. Okay, that is important to know. As people that are in the more neutral side of things, Tracee Ellis Ross, she's an actress, an American actress. She has a quite successful career on TV shows. A very prolific career on TV shows, and she has more than 1 million followers on Twitter, by the way. Good for her. And she has lately produced, along with Oprah Winfrey and Michaelangela D, a documentary called The Hair Tales. The Hair Tales about I guess black women hair. It's like this documentary, Chris Rock that made a documentary a few years back that was called Good Hair. Okay, it was also about black women's hair. And I'm just no relation with Meghan. We don't have from Tracee Ellis Ross any relation, any tweet, any vouch for Meghan. But I think that Meghan would have been a great addition to that documentary because she has a history. Meghan's hair has its own history. So I've been a great like part of that documentary to document Meghan's hair evolution over the years. That will have been a nice addition. Another person that is in this roster, and I think that for the most part, well, I have never seen him being a troll or saying something that woke things. I think he's a great comedian, American comedian. I think he's American, right? He's American. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Conan O'Brien, great comedian. He has a very what is the name? What will the word for this? A formal. It's a diplomatic way of doing making these jokes about the royal family. So very light jokes about the royal family. Examples: two tweets that he did back then. When it comes to the royal family, this was the day of the Oprah interview. When it comes to the royal family, I always root for the woman who married the ginger. Of course, he's ginger, so that's part of the joke. I'm just chilling. This was in 2019. I'm just chilling, waiting to be asked to play Prince Harry in season 16 of The Crown. Very laid-back jokes, nothing very pushy, nothing sarcastic, nothing. It's not dark humor or anything. That is great. It's American. Thanks for confirming that. Yeah. But he made a skit in one of his shows about, that Madame Tussauds had removed Harry and Meghan's wax figures from her museum, and he was trying to locate what has happened to those wax figures. And you don't get to see any Harry and Meghan wax figures. It's only a skit. He talks with this man who is supposedly in charge of those wax figures, and there's this comedy sketch. I cannot put that comedy sketch here because I will get flagged. But you can find it on YouTube. You just search Conan O'Brien, Meghan and Harry, and that's the first thing that you will get. That sketch of Meghan and Harry's wax figures. That was quite funny and very laid back. So we don't have any true connection from Conan to vouch for Meghan to be on this tour with Michelle. But who else do we have here? Who else would we have? We have Michelle Norris. Michelle Norris, big world, lot of stories, founding director of the Race Card Project, right? Columnist, Washington Post, former NPR host. All right. Well. When they say columnist, Washington Post, NPR host, well, I already know what kind of person we're talking about. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not judge Michelle for her workplace, but whatever. Let's move on. What kind of connection we could remotely find between Michelle Norris and Meghan Markle? Now there's a tweet, just a commentary about one article, one opinion from Meghan back then in 2020. Such powerful, candid, healing words from Meghan Markle. And I love that the subhead under her Duchess of Sussex byline reads, "The writer is a mother, feminist, and advocate." That's it. That's all that Michelle Norris has ever said about Meghan Markle. And that article was the one that she wrote about her miscarriage. Okay, that is a delicate topic. I'm not going to delve deep into that. I'm just going to assume Meghan's words for a fact. I think any gentleman, that's what any gentleman will do. Okay, I can't say any more about that. What I found out is that besides the title, "The Losses We Share," there's the subtitle, "Perhaps the Path to Healing begins with 3 simple words. Are you okay?" Those are the same 3 words that she used on that, I guess it was that South Africa interview when she was complaining, sort of a complaint that nobody asked her if she was okay. And I think, it like connecting those 2 scenarios is not it subtracts from whatever she wanted to portray in this article. Again, this is a topic that I'm not gonna delve into. I'm not gonna judge her for anything. In general, miscarriages are something. It's one of the worst things that can happen to a woman. Okay, it's one of the worst things that can happen to a woman in terms of emotionally. It's devastating, and I really admire women that have overcome a situation like that. Okay, because it's devastating, nothing short of devastating. So we move on. Another person that has almost like 0.001% no connection with Meghan or Prince Harry, for that matter, is David Letterman, a legendary American host of the David Letterman show. Now he's in Netflix, has a show that is called, I think it's called My Next Guest Needs No Introduction. And he interviews, he does what he does best, interviewing. And the only reference that I could find of him was from 2012 when he tweeted, Sharon Osbourne tries to analyze Prince Harry's nude photos. And a big shout out to Sharon. because that is something that I would never do. I would analyze anything you want, but Harry's nude photo, no, that is uncharted territory that I will not do. That I have principles, I have limits, I have a code of ethics, and I will not go there. And I would not go there. Thanks to Sharon Osbourne. I think you are amazing, Sharon. I think Ozzy is amazing. I think he's still trying to recover from that spine surgery. I hope he fully recovers. He's trying to go on the road, I think, to keep singing. Well, but what he does best, Ozzy Osbourne, legendary rock madman. But here we are. This is only, we don't have any, I don't think David would move a finger for Meghan in this case. And the only of them that has literally no connection or public connection to Meghan whatsoever that I could find, you can prove me wrong, and I will be glad if you can prove me wrong, is Dr. Elizabeth Alexander, poet, scholar, educator, president of Mellon, author of The Trayvon Generation and The Light of the World. Right, it's no connection whatsoever. I guess that Michelle picked her up for her work, for her trajectory, that is amazing. But in her case, that we didn't have much leverage here. But there is one person. There was person left in this group of stars that could have said, Michelle, why don't you vouch? Why don't you include Meghan in this? She's our friend. It's you know who. Oprah Winfrey in the flesh. Oprah Winfrey would have said, hey, why don't you include this biracial, struggling, empowering, self-made millionaire married into the royal family and absolutely not relevant because of that, Meghan Markle. Yeah, Oprah could have done that. Why not? Why not? Why not? But she didn't. I can imagine that the poster, that the original poster, that of the project was like this, and the intern in charge of graphic design told Michelle, Miss Michelle, we have a problem. We have this design. We have 11 hosts. We have a space for another person, and I think I know the name of a woman that could fit in here. That is a friend of half the people in here. And almost all of them have vouched for her at some point in time. And Michelle said, you know what? No, it'll be fine. Just center the lowest row. Just center it, and that's it. That's 11 hosts. That's fine. That's in numerology. 11 is a master number. Why not? Let's leave that at 11. That's great. I prefer 11, not 12. 11, that's fine. So, Meg, you are out. You are out. You're not here. You were not invited. That is sad. I have to tell. That is sad. Seeing this confirmation that it's the cool kids, your friends, your fans are here, and you're not. So, I certainly. It's the confirmation that Meghan and Harry have effectively managed to alienate. How do you say that? It's like isolate themselves from this group, not only from Hollywood, from every single other connection. Because even David Letterman is on Netflix, and that could be a connection to Harry and Meghan in some way if they had effectively done something for Netflix, which is still in this foggy status, and we still don't know. But that is Michelle Obama's snub of Meghan Markle. Effective snub. It doesn't get more embarrassing than this. Doesn't get more embarrassing than this. Thank you for all your comments, and thank you for hitting the like, alienate alienate. Thank you for all your English classes. Make me a better person, a better YouTuber, a better English speaker. Alienate. Thank you. That's very helpful. Let's move on with our next topic. Valentine Lowe's Courtiers book is out. By the way, we have 2 different covers of the book and 2 different subtitles. That's odd, but I think it will be for marketing terms. One says intrigue, ambition, and the power players behind the House of Windsor, and the other says the hidden power behind the crown. I like both of them. Maybe the first one is more like a Mexican telenovela. I like Mexican telenovelas, but Venezuelan telenovelas are the best in the world. By the way, it's not because I'm Venezuelan, but it's a fact. It's no discussion. All right, I'm getting offered English tutoring. Thank you. So this is great. Well, let's move ahead with this. In terms of courtiers, Kayla Adams on Twitter made a very nice thread, a very long thread about the highlights of courtiers. I'm just gonna read a few of those highlights. I know I don't want to spoil the book for those who haven't read it yet. And I strongly encourage you to follow. If you're on Twitter, follow Kayla Adams on Twitter. She has solid insights, and to read this thread in its entirety. Maybe you want to read the thread and think that will help you decide if you buy the book. I think the thread tells you that the book is worth it. I can tell you that. I'm just gonna read 4 or 5 tweets from that thread. I'm gonna jot down some points from Valentine Lowe's new book, Courtiers. Let's get down to it. This is the third tweet. When William and Harry were setting up the Royal Foundation, they didn't want it to be like their fathers. They wanted focus on specific aims where they could achieve a purpose. Well done. There was a very, very strong focus. Prince William would occasionally turn down donors as he was a very shrewd judge of people. I think this is a great insight into William's behavior. We know that he's the firstborn. We know that since day one, since he had reasoning, the slightest reasoning, he was told, "You're gonna be king of all that you see and a little beyond." Okay. Remember that my dad is gonna be king someday. You know the words. We're not gonna delve into that again. And I think this responsibility, it's not that the responsibility makes the man. That would be wrong. It's not like William was a tabula rasa. Was like something like he was just he had no personality, and it's the responsibility or the expectation that made him the man he is. I don't agree with that. I think that there's this disposition to service. Of course, there's always this tendency of the firstborn to be more responsible, more more tense, more in charge of everything. That is normal. You don't have to be the future king of England to be like that if you're the firstborn. But I think by sheer luck that William has the right stuff for the job. William has the right stuff for the job. He was modeled the right way. Maybe his upbringing with all this drama was not the best one, but even so, he could overcome that. Even the tragedy of losing his mother at a young age, he could overcome this, and he has managed to show what is he made about. Okay, he is not a man that's gonna. I'm going to mention another. This tweet number 4. William and Harry. This is important for better insights about William. William and Harry had different ways of working. when they first started their joint charity. William preferred doing things behind the scenes and wanted long-term solutions. Harry wanted things that resulted in instantaneous action. Now I'm going to ask you a question. If we think about how long did they take to decide to propose to their girlfriends, to say that, well, I'm going to let's make this formal. You know Waity Katie, right? You know Waity Katie, why they call Catherine that way. Years expecting that. William projected that into that decision. He made sure that Catherine was well aware of what she was getting into. And not only being well aware and talking to her, but experiencing what it's all was about. So he was very mindful of that, because he also understood that Catherine was not born into that life. She was going to marry into that life, and he knew that it was not going to be an easy ride for anybody. For anybody that marries into the royal family, it's not going to be easy. You need to have the right stuff too. And I think the time that William took into that was critical to be sure, not only that, of course, Catherine was the right woman for him, but also that she was well aware that what kind of life she was going to expect. And this is part of respect. It's not only, well, you're going to marry me and I'm going to be king and etc. And let's, you know that, that the other despair, Harry wanted things that resulted in instantaneous action. Why do you think William told him, Harry, please, Harry, why don't you take things a bit slower? And Harry like, no, I want things right now. I want to get married now. I want everything in years. You're crazy. You're like with decades with Catherine. This isn't possible. I don't want that. I'm going to be clear about this. People change. People in their life can change. Okay, can change their behavior, can evolve their behavior. There are people can be William at some point, like William at some point of their lives, and can be more like Harry at other points of their lives. I can say that at some point of my life I was more like William, but at more recently in my life I decided that sometimes you need instantaneous action. I think Harry's way of doing things has a lot of perks, because you fail quickly. And failing quickly, no, don't laugh. This is the real deal. Failing quickly is something that you have to. It's a skill. You have to fail quickly, because sometimes you overthink and don't act because you're waiting, I don't know, for the perfect moment. You are waiting for the perfect circumstances. You think you're not ready. You have imposter syndrome. You think that someone is going to say, you don't know what you're doing. And guess what? Nobody really knows what we're doing, because nobody can foresee the future. And we are in that conundrum. And we're trying to make sense of things. And we're never going to be ready. So it's nice planning things. It's nice taking time for things to mature, like in this case, Catherine and William's relationship. That makes sense. But in other cases, for example, when you're in a project, speed, I always said that speed is everything. Now, you may argue with me, saying, well, in this case, we have this focus, or that framing is between William and Harry. And I can understand that you might be a fan of William and prefer William's approach to things. And since you don't like Harry that much, or you used to like Harry, but you don't like him that much now, then you don't like that approach. That is a bias that is natural to you. Someone that you don't like is doing something. That's why I tell you so many times that you have to isolate, separate the thing, the action, from the person. Maybe you don't like the person, maybe the action could work for you at some point in your life. And by the way, for example, I realized at some point that I had to do videos every day, even if the quality was going to suffer. Okay, but it was important to fail quicker. What can I do to make videos quicker? More videos. Why more videos? Because that way I could test. I could have more tests to see what did you like about my videos and which format could I land that could be well received by you. And this being fluent in English is also a product of having this furious action and putting out more videos. That is Harry's approach. Maybe William would have an approach that let's put out one video a week that is very well polished, that is very well worked. That some YouTubers have that approach, and that approach works wonders too. Now, in this case, I want to point out that both William and Harry, both approaches are sound, have results. So the best thing that you can do is to be able to use both depending on the situation. Okay, and there's one quote. I don't know if this who said this. It was not me. I did not invent this quote, but someone said that you have to be furious with actions and patient with results. And the worst thing that anybody can do is not act, because things are not going to happen. Things are not going to happen unless we act. Okay, it's okay to plan. You may say, well, Harry made a mistake marrying Meghan. Well, that is our opinion. Maybe it's our opinion. Maybe it's not Harry's opinion. Maybe Harry has thought about that. Maybe Harry has had doubts at some point. His body language tells a lot about that. But instantaneous action is something that we should not discard just because Harry has done it. I tell by personal experience, I've had both approaches in my life, different moments of my life. At this moment, I can say that the best approach is to have both at the same time. I think this is how I tell you sometimes I don't make specific videos that how a tool for life that will be sound. What happens is that I make these videos and maybe you see it all too generic and it doesn't land. We don't have a real example for that, but this is a great example for this kind of experiences. I will never call them lessons. I will never call them like I'm teaching you something. I'm just sharing you what has worked for me. And I'm sharing with you what could be a dangerous bias of saying William is the one doing things right and Harry is the one doing things wrong. And there's another thing that I think is important to say now, to share with you. And that is this dilemma that you sometimes can make a good decision, you make a sound decision, you made the right choice, the right decision, but it was not the right time, and things go wrong. You lose, you fail miserably, and the worst thing that can happen is that you think that your decision was bad, that you have doubts about yourself. People say you mess up everything. It's your fault. You made a bad decision, and you need to stop and think and realize, no, I made the decision was the right one. Somehow might be the timing might not be the right one. Okay, this is critical in our lives, and I'm telling you, I've gone through this, and yes, I told to myself I made the wrong choice, I made the wrong decision, and it was fatal. It was brutal learning that lesson. On the other hand, it's equally dangerous to make a wrong decision, like actually mess things up, like you don't know what you're doing, and you act in a hurried way, make a wrong decision, a terrible decision, and maybe the timing is so good, it's so on point, maybe the stars aligned and everything goes right at the end. What happened? Well, an even worse situation, because You might think, hey, you see that? It was me who made this decision and everything went right at the end. How about that? I think that is even worse, because you will get a fake sense of confidence about something that you didn't do. You triumphed, but because of the timing, not of your decision. And this is excruciatingly or ultimately difficult to spot in ourselves, because you need this internal insight and be honest with yourself. If your decisions are sound, are the best decisions that you can make, or are the wrong decisions, or whatever. I have one clue before we move on. I have one clue. You might ask, Jesus, how can I know that I'm making the right decision? It's a very easy way. I have a video on my channel. You visit my channel, The Better Language Guy, that is called Values and Principles. And when you make decisions, you watch the video and make the exercise that accompanies that video to find out about your own values. Make that exercise and you realize your own set of values that is personal for you, that is different from anyone else, and you know that you have made the right decision when that decision is aligned with your values and not the values of anyone else. Not the values of your parents, not the values of your children, not the values of your spouse, of your friends, or your neighbors. No, it's your values. If your decision is aligned with your values, then it's a good decision. I have had clients have come to me. I have this, I can't reveal much about that, but they have made the decisions that if I ask 100 people on the street, 95 of them are gonna tell me that was a wrong call. That was not the right call. That was awful what they did. And maybe 4 of them are gonna tell me, well, what was there anything that I should know that why they made that decision that is so wrong? And maybe one could say, maybe that was the right decision for them, and that one person will be right. Maybe that was the decision that was aligned with their values. Maybe they're not my own values. If you want to know about values, go to that video that is on my channel, The Better Language Guy. You can spot that. Just scroll. You have these playlists. Let's level up together. And there's one video that's called Values and Principles. Just watch that video and do the exercise, and that will facilitate your life immensely, because we are not trained. We are not shown. This is something that we should learn at school. What are our values? It's different than principles. For example, honesty. Honesty is a principle. We should always be honest. Okay? We know that sometimes a lie can do a lot of good, can save a lot of people, can save things. That could be, of course, that could happen. That could be more of a principle. Respect, for example. Respect is a principle, not a value. Respect is something that is non-negotiable. Respect is something that 100% of humanity should have for others and for ourselves. But values is much more. It's much vastly complex. You can have people that value relationships, people that value friendships, people that value spirituality, people that value money, people that value being academic, people that value entertainment, people that value, well, you have a mix of them. We have a mix of them, but we have to know which kind of values are the non-negotiable. I know that I'm sounding a bit preachy in this, but it's something that I'm truly passionate about, because I wish someone had told me this barely 5 years ago. Just 5 years ago. Don't think that I'm this guru that has known this since he was 16 years old. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I still can say I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm still learning. So I wish someone told me this 5 years ago. Would have saved me so much time, tears, pain, energy, money. You have no idea. And it's as simple as that. And I said, I need to devise a system or a path that is as simple as possible for people to know when they somehow are not screwing things with their life. And the first reason is that we do not know ourselves. We don't know what we want in life. It's that bad. We don't know what we want in life until we accept our own values. And it's rather simple. It's not easy because we have all this social pressure that maybe if you have the value of, well, I like money, I like to have a lot of money. Okay, money is very important for me, and that those values can evolve over time. Also, maybe when you were younger, when you were a teenager, like in my case, I valued more my artistic creativity. I was much more valuable. It was one of my values. It's still one of my values. I love seeing and watching beautiful things. I love creating beautiful things. But maybe a long time I said, hey, my values have changed. My values towards family have changed. My values towards spirituality have changed. My values towards money have changed. I can say, for example, that I have become more spiritual, and at the same time have become more aware of the value of money, of how important is money in our lives. How can you marry those things? I don't know. Those are two of my many values that are non-negotiable at this moment. I'm spiritual, and I love financial gain too. What can I tell you? It's something that it's nothing to be ashamed about when you find out what is your personal mix, your unique mix of values. And the best part, you don't have to share them with anyone that you don't want. If you don't want to share them with your spouse, maybe you realize that you're in a toxic relationship, then you don't have to. If you don't feel comfortable at the moment of sharing them with your children, then don't do it. If you don't feel comfortable sharing them with your parents, don't do that. You're not forced, you're not obliged to do that. All right? But that's important. That is so many things that I saw this. William acts in a way. Harry acts in a way. I have to make sure that my beloved audience, my body language buddies, that I love you so much, I understand that you can have some bias on, oh, Harry, rushing everything. You can't do that. Sometimes we have to rush things. Sometimes we have to fail quickly. Sometimes that is needed. And sometimes we have to act like William. How do we know? Now you know. Now you know. I'm sure that I will be repeating this along the way. I know that some of you are always aware of my rants, but this is something that is priceless. For me, has been priceless, and it's one of my greatest gifts to you. All you have to do is go to that video, watch that video, and do the exercise that I proposed in that video. It's that simple. Go for it. Your life will be better. I promise. And you just have to try. You don't have anything to lose and infinite to gain. So let's move on. William and Harry had lots of interest in the same areas, and Kate would always moderate meetings and have conversations about the future events to be the calming voice. Like, she was the mediator. That's interesting. You have these two forces of nature, William and Harry, and they acted in such different ways. Catherine realized, hey, we could do a lot if we share forces. If we united in a common in this common purpose, and that is great. She understood that, and she understood that her maybe she wanted to say, maybe she also had this this energy, Harry's energy, or maybe she was more like slow burn, like William, like she was willing to be patient for the results, but she realized that the best outcome will be uniting forces between the two. So she became the calming voice. Maybe she decided we don't need a third voice, all right? Or having a third voice will be detrimental to the results we have. So I will just try to make this work between these two. That is great. They all work together well at this point, although there were frustrations about projects sometimes. That's understandable. It will be, yeah, the peacemaker. She was the peacemaker. Thank you, Kelsko. 9 core cheers. We are just jumping through different tweets of this thread. Remember, if you want to read the complete thread, you can follow Kayla Adams. I'm already following her on Twitter. Great insights. You can read the whole thread there, and you can, of course, read Valentine Lowe's book in its entirety. I think in Amazon and other outlets have the book already. Courtiers. In short, Prince William spent a lot of professional and personal time with the Queen, a lot more than we'll know. He observed and joined some of the Queen's meetings with leaders and ambassadors, and the Queen would send him on special visits. I think the Queen was well aware that she had the opportunity, this unique opportunity of including William in all these activities, so he could see firsthand what was the job about. And all the things that could arise, all the things that can go wrong, and in the have this first-hand experience and be able to have these insights, as he was the one who was going to bring the monarchy in the next generation. Maybe it was not Charles the one. We have King Charles III, but we know that for the next generation, the actual next generation, was going to be William. The Queen knew this, so she was preparing William. She prepared William for this, and maybe at some point Harry began to be jealous. I think there are some recollections of that. Harry became jealous of William having all these opportunities, but that will be something that I don't understand, because Harry didn't want the responsibilities either, because he didn't like that royal life. He was more of a hands-on guy, like all the diplomacy and all that. He doesn't like that. He doesn't like that. He's more like a hands-on guy. Okay, that's Harry. That's the Harry that we knew before Meghan. All those activities that he showed himself, he proved himself in those grounds. Maybe he was growing this resentment, and that was catalyzed by the presence of Meghan. That's why he says, well, Meghan saved me from all this, and that's why my brother and my father are still trapped in that, and we know how the story really is. And regarding that, how the story really is, I love the way Richard Eden on Twitter woke up and chose violence today. The similarities are uncanny. Wallis and Meghan, the Duchesses of Windsor. Oh, right, Richard, your guns blazing. I love that. I love that attitude. That's why you are one of my favorite royal commentators. Great thing to tweet. So that is something fascinating about the way two different worlds, two brothers focus on things. We could take sides at any moment. We could say that we prefer one over another. We could say that one of them is luckily the one to be king. I could say that why in the name of the Lord do they use half Windsor knots? Why don't you use double Windsor knots? I mean, nobody can be perfect. William can be perfect. William, if you're watching this, dear courtiers, please relay this message to the Prince of Wales. Tell him to use bloody double Windsor knots. They are like more balanced. No, not that. Half Windsor knots are always like crooked to one side, like that. I hate those knots. That's terrible. But being serious about this. This is fascinating. Being able to compare both approaches, and more that we're gonna read on that book, and more that we are gonna highlight from that book, and be able to understand that, well, sometimes you just can't get people to get along, especially when one of them just doesn't want to be there. Maybe he doesn't want to go alone, but he doesn't want to just obey and do the same what the other is saying. But at the same time, he realizes he doesn't want the responsibility, but he is resentful for the other being the heir, and he just being despair. Very complicated situations. That's why I think these cases, the royal family is perfect for so many insights of human behavior. It's something that I didn't realize 1 year ago, and I'm approaching 1 year, I'm almost there, 1 year of being a royal commentator on YouTube. We'll need an anniversary. We need to do something for that anniversary, my bodies, and that's what I find so fascinating. I have another topic for today. And this one, let's go there. This all these legal issues that we're finding out today, thanks to Daniel Sanford and other reporters. Prince Harry, Sir Elton John, David Furnish, Elizabeth Hurley, Sadie Frost, and Baroness Doreen Lawrence have launched a legal action against associated newspapers, publishers of the Daily Mail, the Mail on Sunday, and the Mail Online. Well, disclaimer, huge disclaimer. There's one person in this group that, well, I only stand for no particular reason. That is Elizabeth Hurley. Maybe for obvious reasons. But well, for some reason, Prince Harry is the first one on that list. Let me retake my professional stance. Let me not get carried away to emotions. Harry despair. I had to do this, highlight this Harry despair. All right. We go forward. Hamlin's LLP said these individuals have become aware of compelling and highly distressing evidence that they have been victims of abhorrent criminal activity and gross breaches of privacy by associated newspapers. Well, victims. Harry has experience being a victim, so I guess that's why he's the first on the list. Maybe you have the experience being a victim. You should be the main one, the protagonist, the one at the front. Go ahead, Harry. Go, do something in the life for first time in your life. Hamlin's LLP said the unlawful acts alleged to have taken place include 1. The hiring of private investigators to secretly place listening devices inside people's cars and homes. This is well, a breach of privacy. This is actual harassment. And I remember that when Christopher Bowsey told that I was harassing Meghan. I'm not harassing Meghan. This is harassing people. I'm not doing this. I'm just a guy that comments on videos at public domain on the internet. Are you gonna out of your mind? I think you keep using that word, harassment, and you don't know. I don't think it really means what you think it means. But well, the commissioning of individuals to surreptitiously listen into and record people's live private telephone calls was they were taking place. That is Princess Diana level of privacy breach. The payment of police officials with corrupt links to private investigators for inside sensitive information. That could be maybe to get into Elton John's parties. Who knows? The impersonation of individuals to obtain medical information from private hospitals, clinics, and treatment centers by deception. That is, that will be despicable because, that sometimes people need treatment. They need to remain private about that, and they have the right. Every single one of us have the right to remain private about our medical records. The accessing of bank accounts, credit histories, and financial transactions through illicit means and manipulation. Associated newspapers have now said, of course, we utterly and unambiguously refute these preposterous smears, which appear to be nothing more than a pre-planned and orchestrated attempt to drag the male titles into the phone hacking scandal concerning articles up to 30 years old. This I'm gonna try it. This unsubstantiated and highly defamatory claims based on no credible evidence appear to be simply a fishing expedition by claimants and their lawyers, some of whom have already pursued cases elsewhere. And as Countess Commonwealth says on Twitter, me watching Harry sue everyone but Tom Bauer and Valentine Lowe. This is what we have. This is what we have. And, well, I don't think it's going to be any further. I have a final thing for today's show, which was it's going to be a bit longer than usual. This interview that they did to Mike Myers. I am afraid of playing the interview. I don't want to get flagged for copyright. You know how YouTube works. And Good Morning America interviewed Mike Myers and says he is still gutted over Queen Elizabeth's death, and shares that Buckingham Palace once played the Austin Powers theme song in his honor when he visited. He could not meet the Queen herself. You know, that was quite difficult. But he was invited to Buckingham Palace for the change of the guards. And when he was there, they played the Austin Powers. Now that Meghan mentions Austin Powers, they played on Buckingham Palace Austin Powers theme to honor Mike Myers that was there. It was amazing. And in this interview, I always forget that Mike Myers is Canadian. In this interview, he tells people that, he was asked that which character is he most fond of, Wayne's World or Austin Powers, and he said, well, Wayne's World is like my childhood, and Austin Powers is my parents. He explains that, well, his parents from British, that his mother was the same age of the Queen, that he cried his eyes out when the Queen died, and he said something that was very nice about trying to explain the fellow American people, the love for the Queen. Why the love for the monarchy? Why the love for the Queen? Why the love for this monarchy for so long? This so out of date, out of touch with times. And he said, this is like to his American friends. This is like your love of the flag. This is something that goes beyond politics. This is something that goes beyond time. This is something that just unites a country around something that will outlast every single one of us, and that's what means the Queen, the monarchy for us. This was very touching. There was also this could be, it should be. It was in Good Morning America's Twitter. Very touching, very precise remarks. I love when someone is precise with their words, and he was perfect. He brought the perfect analogy to explain the British people love for the monarchy, the Queen, and, well, this outpouring of love when the Queen passed away was proof of it. A very, very good analogy. I encourage you to watch it. So let's read your super chats. So many super chats. Oh my God, they've been consistently 4,000 body language buddies tonight. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate this. I do my best to offer you the best show possible every day. I'm trying to do this every day. My sleep schedule is still all over the place. I'm sorry, personal reasons, but I'm trying to keep up. I'm trying to do this as good as I can, and so you can be aware of what's going on with the Royals, and of course have a good laugh. And today, well, I share with you Yet again, I've shared with you a couple times this importance of values. I haven't talk about values in a long time, and I thought that with this comparison between Harry and William, let me go back to that picture. This comparison between Harry and William was spot on example to illustrate that. So, Little Miss Sunshine, first super sticker. Well, there was thank you for your super sticker. There was a super chat before the live started from Banny from Switzerland. Thanks, Banny, for your super chat. I cannot highlight it because I can just highlight super chats that were sent after the live began. Sorry for that. Laurie Wilcox, thank you, Laurie. Laurie is always a great supporter of my channel. Thanks, Laurie. I appreciate that. And I love Shiva dogs, by the way. Anne-Marie is true. It's on point. Anne-Marie says, I don't think that Meghan could host an event like this. She would constantly talk about herself and not much else. Not ideal for a good moderator. I agree with you, Anne-Marie. That's that. And today's last super chat is from yes, Laurelay Catherall. Laurelay says, values are great. I like yours, mine also. I appreciate that, Laurelay. Thank you for that. Remember, I have a video on my Body Language Guide channel. You go to my Body Language Guide channel, and the homepage, you see some playlist, and there's a playlist called Let's Level Up Together, and there's this video called Values and Principles. Just watch that video once or twice, whatever you like, and do the exercise I propose on the description of that video. And remember, my body being beautiful body language bodies, that you have the opportunity. Let me jump to that. Oh my God, so many slides today, so much today. If you join my channel, you not only will be supporting all this craziness, daily lives, and also my Royal Road channel, my second channel, and that's my third channel that I'm slowly updating to. Will not only be supporting my video making journey and be able to share these evenings with you, but you will also have this reaction. If you become a member, you can use this reaction emojis on the chat right here. The chat. So, some already use those emojis. If you're a member, my dear members, use the emojis. Bellatrix. Go ahead and use show those emojis. There's a super chat here. New super chat from Susan H. Keep on sleuthing so we don't have to. I will, rest assured, Susan. My Body Language Buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Body Language Guy, and it was a pleasure for me to share this beautiful evening with you. And remember the two most important words: much love and bliss. Take care, my beautiful Body Language Buddies, because I love every single one of you. Bye bye.